Hello and welcome to KG Tutorials. Subscribe and turn on the notifications now. In this linear algebra lesson 2, we are going to talk about sets and notations. We begin with definitions, head on to examples, and tackle some problems. Alright, we begin with this E sign. We are both familiar with this sign and we call it the element of, is an element of. Now that E, this time it is lashed. So we are going to call it what? Is not an element of. Okay, we have this sign now. We call it the is a subset, the subset sign. Now the subset, it is lashed. We all know what it will be this time. It will be, it's not a subset of. Easy, right? Then now we have the U. The U represents the union. We have the N represents the intersection. Now what is this sign? It look odd to me. It's just the zero that is slashed. So now what do we call this sign? We call it the empty set. And we're going to use this sign more in our next lessons. Okay, now let's take an example. Here we are trying to find out how does those notations work, beginning from the element of, the first sign, the element of. Okay, for example, we just pick 5. Let's pick 5 for our example. Let's just pick 5 for example. Now what's going on with 5 in all these 3 sets that we have? I can see that 5 is in A. I can also see that 5 is in C. Okay, so what does this mean? It means that 5 is an element of A and 5 is an element of C. Easy, right? But now 5 is not in B. I cannot see 5 in B. What does that mean? It means that 5 is not an element of B. Okay, easy. Now let's take a subset sign now. Okay, now let's take A for example. The set A, for example. I have 1, I have 3, I have 5 in A. Okay, then now between B and C, where do I see 1, 3, 5? Okay, I can see that 1 is in C, 3 is in C, and then 5 is also in C. What does that mean? It means that A is the subset of C. Why? Because A is in C. A is contained in C. All those sets of A are in a set of C. So now A is an element of C. Okay? Now, because A is not in B, what does that mean? It means that A is not a subset of B. Okay? And then also B is not a subset of C. Why? Because all the sets of B are not in C. Alright? You can see it. Now let's head on to the next notation. The U, the union notation. The union notation is not that too much problem, because what do? You just unite the 2 sets or the 3 sets. Okay, for example, let's take a union of A and B. Okay? The union of A and B, I'm just going to list all those sets that are in the set A and the set B. It's like when I form a group or someone is forming a group, we just list the name of all the participants in the group. Okay, so now this the union of A and B, what will it be? It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. It's only those sets that are in A and B. So here we just wrote them down in numerical order. Okay, so now let's head on to the N, which is the intersection. Now we are going to take A and C as our example, the A and the C as our example. All right, so now here, what is our main aim? Our main aim is to write down all those numbers that appear in both A and C. Those are the intersection. The similarities is where both A and C intersect. So as as we can see, we see 1, it also appears in C. 3, it also appears in C. 5, it also appears in C. Alright? So now what is the intersection of A and C? It's 1, 3, 5. It's 1, 3, and 5. Now, B, we have 2 here. Alright? We have 4 here. And it also appears in C. That 2, that 4. Alright? So now what does that mean? It means that the intersection of B and C is 2 and 4. Okay? But we did not talk about the intersection of A and B. What is the intersection of A and B? Do you see something? No. There's no such a thing. There's no number that appears in both A and B. So what is the intersection of A and B? It's nothing. It's empty. So now that's when now the empty set notation comes in. We can write it as empty parenthesis, or we can use this new sign that we are going to use and familiarize ourselves with more and more in our next lessons. Is the empty set. It's empty. Oh people, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, like the video, comment, and you can also talk to me on kgtutorials@gmail.com. I can't wait to see you in the next lesson. Do not miss out.